So if you earn 3 points per dollar, and if you value your American miles at a penny and a half each, so that's like 4.5% back on that transaction. And then you'll get 10% rebated also on that. So that'll be close to like 5% back on that transaction.
Wow.
Now, that's if you use your miles for a penny and a half each, which is really easy. If you use your American miles at a value of 10 cents per mile, that goes up exponentially. And that's feasible. It is feasible to do. If you book a business class ticket on Qatar Airways for 70,000 miles to the Maldives or to South Africa, there's tons of amazing uses.
What are the best cashback credit cards? I know there's Citi Double Cash, right?
Citi Double Cash is great because you choose between 2% cashback or 2 points per dollar.
Oh, wow. Do you need another credit card with them to be able to use the points?
Yes. That is the catch.
Welcome to the second ever DansDeals podcast. We have been posting the best deals online for over 20 years now and have saved people billions with a B of dollars, as well as earned tens of billions of miles and points on their credit cards. And we're here to teach you how you can do the same. So the 20th birthday, that was fun, huh?
It was a crazy, crazy experience.
It really came together in the end.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do that for like
20 years.
For 20 years. I've been having this in mind for at least a year now that I want to do this. I reached out to your favorite companies about 6 months ago, and it really came together.
Yeah, I was kind of dubious, but it worked out. Pretty well.
The biggest problem for me was that the designer, Jack Vershupsky, who built our website, we got to get him on this podcast sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a super talented UX guy, and he just really understands how people interact.
He's probably like in Syria by now. Doesn't he usually hunt out the war zones?
I think he's building a yeshiva in a sheep farm in Israel, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Tracks.
That's a unique place. It does track.
Well, he got people out of Ukraine, and that was accomplished. Now he's in Israel helping the people there when the war started. He's awesome. Yeah, and he travels to crazy places.
Yes.
So he's based in Israel. So every single day we had to update the form and the back end of it. So I was staying up until like 1 a.m. when he started work in Israel. And then I was getting up at like 6 a.m. to see what he did in those 4 hours to check on it and give feedback for that.
Oh my gosh.
So I got 4 hours of sleep.
And then of course we timed this for Black Friday. That's just what happened because I started the website on Black Friday, which is also right around my birthday. It was on my birthday at the time in 2004.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So exactly. So it was 20 days of that. And then it went straight into Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So it was really 30 days straight of
not much sleep.
Yeah, not much.
Impressive work.
Thank you. But the feedback was awesome.
Yeah.
We got like over 10,000 new followers on WhatsApp. And tens of thousands of people signed up over the promotion. So really, really a great time for everyone. I had so much feedback. I'm sure you heard the same about like, these are really good prizes, actually. Like,
what were the top few prizes as far as entries goes?
So the number one was the grand ultimate giveaway.
Sure.
It was like 3-4 times anything else.
Okay.
El Al was number one besides that. The Bugaboo. It was like a pretty consistent amount until like the Bugaboo with Pish Posh Baby. I think they shared it to their readers as well. So that brought in a lot of people. And that just went crazy.
Nice.
The first one, the Zadoon, I think was like the best prize.
Yeah, that was an awesome prize.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have held that back a little longer. Well, you want to start off with a bang, Yeah,
exactly. You want to start with a bang. The Friday, Saturdays were a little slower, you know, but those were only open for a few hours.
So if you did it again, I don't know, 25th anniversary, who knows? No. Would you skip Friday and Saturday? Would you start it earlier in the cycle?
No. I'm shaking my head no for anyone listening on the podcast.
Never again.
I would do a grand ultimate, maybe like one day, get everyone together and just do like on the 25th. This is the like here's 5-10 incredible deals. The Art Scroll deal, I think, is one of their best sales day of all time.
Yeah.
That Art Scroll deal, and they give us the best deal ever. So it makes sense. Yeah. I'd be open to something like that where it's just all set up for 24 hours, or maybe even over Black Friday like we did. It starts on Thursday or Wednesday, whenever our birthday falls out next year, and it runs through Cyber Monday.
Next year, you're going out for the 21st birthday? That's pretty aggressive.
I meant for the 25th, maybe something like that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You have some time to plan it out.
Yeah, we'll see. How old will you be by then?
I mean, I will be 45, right? And
Gosh, that'll be right like by my 40th, I
it'll
think.
be a year
My
before
39.
a year before, yeah, exactly, because I'm exactly 6 years older than you. So math checks out.
Yeah, wow. That's exciting to think what even life is going to be like in 5 years from now. I feel like with the AI, it's changing.
I haven't yet found the best use case for AI in my work. I think you've done more with it than I have, but
yeah,
there's no doubt that AI is going to be a game changer. It's just a question is how exactly and what it will mean for everybody.
The problem I think you have with AI right now is that you could tell it's AI. Right?
Yeah.
In the writing style, in a lot of...
I can't stand reading AI writing and news sites that are using that. It's just so obvious. And when you said get an email from someone, it's so obviously...
Oh my gosh, like, AI. Good morning to you. I hope you are maximizing your day. Like, no, stop.
And like an airline wrote to us a whole long email and it was clearly AI.
Yes. So a nastygram email from the airline for sharing a deal that was too good
to be true. They made the promotion, they set the terms.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a lot of fun, actually. I wrote up a response through AI that was also obviously
clearly AI.
And that was, maybe we'll share that one day. But that was funny. They did not answer after that. I think they realized, and that was a top level person too. It was like head of customer relations.
And I'm not sure why they would come to us instead of just changing the promotion.
Right. I mean, just change your terms. Yeah. We found this great deal out of your promotion.
There's a reason why every promotion says terms are subject to change at any time.
Exactly. So, for example, GPT, the number one AI right now. Grok might take it over.
It depends if Elon is successful in suing them, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course, Elon co-founded it with Sam Altman.
That's right, and they're supposed to be non-for-profit. Now they're obviously for-profit.
Well, they're trying to switch to for-profit,
right? But they haven't switched yet.
They're trying to, and everybody is suing that they shouldn't be able to. So Elon threw his hat in there, and other companies as well don't want him to switch to Meta. Doesn't want him to switch to for-profit. So everyone's got their own motives, obviously,
right?
And keeping them a nonprofit, because as a for-profit enterprise, they're going to be huge.
Yeah, of course, and obviously Elon's been blowing the trumpet for at least a year or two now that we need government regulation. So while he's doing the Doge, removing regulation,
right, which is interesting, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see AI regulation in the next 4 years.
But he's not just someone who wants no regulation. He wants sensible regulation.
Right.
So you could understand where he's coming from. But yes, it is kind of ironic that he's going to be leading the effort to remove regulations, but does want to see regulation AI because he sees it as an existential threat.
Absolutely. And I think anyone that understands just how fast AI has grown over the past 5 years has to see it as an existential threat.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I see the Boston Dynamics dogs more as an existential threat, but that may be Black Mirror talking.
Okay, so what I was saying is GPT has a $200 a month paid version.
Yeah.
And you tell it to not talk like AI, to talk like human, and it does.
And this is supposed to also replace video, right? We could get rid of film directors, just make movies from AI. I don't see it happening anytime soon.
I don't see that happening anytime soon. But for example, I think with a $200 version, and it might not be there yet, but in 5 years from now, write the blog post on this credit card based on my writing format.
Well, I mean, they have AIs now that'll make a podcast out of information, right? So instead of us doing these podcasts, we could just feed it a blog post and say, hey, make an hour podcast on this information.
Right. When will AI creativity surpass our own, and what will that mean for everyone?
Well, for now, it's just what you feed into it.
Right. But it gathers more knowledge than you have. Right now, it's definitely about the prompts, and people are making whole businesses about their expertise in AI. But the question is when it goes a step further.
When it will become smarter than us.
Exactly. It's going to be an interesting future. That's for sure. So yeah, 5 years from now, I don't even know what the world looks like in 5 years from now. Self-driving cars, are they going to pass? I mean, with Elon and Republicans all controlling the laws being passed over the next 2 years.
Right.
Is he going to get full self-driving passed nationwide? Is it like...
Oh, I don't think that's a matter of regulation. If he can get full self-driving going, he would. It's just the technology is not there yet.
But he will face eventually regulatory problems.
Yeah, it's possible, but I don't think he's had too much. I've seen Tesla stock kind of go crazy because of that, but I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that it's regulatory as opposed to technological.
Even with no driver in the front seat?
They're not there yet. They're just not. It's not there. It's gotten much better, and it keeps getting better.
Right.
5 years from now, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not convinced that my 2018 Model 3 is going to be driving New York to LA like they promised when I bought the car. I'm not convinced that's ever going to happen.
Okay. I thought it was really interesting that the winners of the ultimate DansDeals giveaway, there was like in the terms like a cash alternative prize.
Yeah.
And they all chose the cash alternative prize. I think
all three winners?
One of them's, I don't know. He's like not going to answer my emails exactly, but I know.
Well, we're not going to force you.
Yeah, exactly.
But two of them chose the cash option.
Yeah. The 20 favorite things I could understand. The guy's like from Brooklyn or whatever. He doesn't have room in his house for
you need a bigger place. Yeah.
I get that. But the trip around the world, like I was looking forward to planning that thing,
Would have been fun.
Yeah. But it's interesting.
Cash is king.
Cash is king. Mentioning cash is king. What is your take on cashback credit cards?
So cashback credit cards are great. There's certainly a use for them. Everybody could use the extra cash, right?
Right.
But there's a limit to what it's worth. It's worth whatever the cashback that you get. Mm-hmm. So with a mile, if you don't use it well, it's going to be worth much less than the cashback. But if you use your miles well, it'll be worth much more than the cashback. So it's pretty much that straightforward, where a mile can be worth 1 cent or it could be worth 15 cents per mile.
Right.
Whereas the cashback is, if you have a 2% card, you're getting 2% cashback, and that's it. Or if you have, let's say, a Bank of America or retirement account or IRAs, you have $100,000 that you could set aside between all of your investment portfolio.
That's not 100,000 liquid. That's 100,000 invested, whatever.
Yeah, it could be 401k. It could be everything, all your assets that you have combined. As long as it's $100,000 with Bank of America, then you could earn 2.625% cashback anywhere. So that's good.
That's great for cashback.
It's really good for sure. But if you could beat that, if you earn 2 miles per dollar on a card and you're using your miles to be worth 10 cents a piece, that's 20% cashback.
Right.
Well, not cashback, but 20% back
value
towards travel compared to 2.625. So it just depends what you're doing with your miles, and you have to, just evaluate that and see what makes the most sense for you.
I saw there was a new cashback credit card from, I forgot the bank. It was like 4% cashback everywhere, right?
Yeah, U.S. Bank.
Similar. What were the earlier reports on that card?
Well, I had a lot of negative feedback with small credit lines and a lot of fees. There's mandatory fees, even if you have a lot of money with them. So the
monthly, yearly fees?
Yeah, annual fees for their accounts. So, and a lot of fees if you want to do any stock trading. There's fees that other banks in Bank of America don't have.
Right. So with the low monthly credit limit and an annual fee, it's the balance of, I'm getting 4% cash back, but on how much money, and is that over another card even going to make up the annual fee?
Correct.
Got it.
But it's something definitely to pay attention to for sure.
Right. I guess maybe a new card, they want to intentionally start with small credit limits.
Probably, yeah.
Or it's a bait and switch and they're trying to get people on the 4%. And then next year they do 3%.
Yeah. I mean, like Robinhood has a 3% credit card. If you sign up, we pay an annual fee for Robinhood Gold. I think it's $50 a year. But the problem is that they don't give the 3% on tax payments, and they don't give the 3% on large purchases. They say it's a non-qualifying purchase. So there's a lot of, it's kind of gimmicky.
So you could actually end up coming out behind, even though initially it sounds so much better. But when you get into the details of what you're actually spending, what you're utilizing it on, you may come out behind with these smaller bank higher offers.
Yeah, you have to watch out for the gimmicks for sure. And Bank of America has withstood the test of time. So it's an impressive offer if you have the assets to do that.
Mm-hmm. Besides for that, what are the best cashback credit cards? I know there's Citi Double Cash, right?
Citi Double Cash is great because you choose between 2% cashback or 2 points per dollar.
Oh, wow. Do you need another credit card with them to be able to use the points?
Yes. That is the catch. So it used to come 2% cashback that you could convert over to points. Now it's actually you earn 2 points per dollar.
Okay.
And you can cash out those points at a cent a piece.
Like with all points?
Well, it depends on the bank. Some banks let you cash out at a cent a piece. American Express doesn't let you cash out like that, but a lot of banks do. So you could cash out your points at 1 cent a piece with Citi, or you can transfer those into miles if you have a Citi Premier card, or which they call the Strata Premier card now.
Okay. What's the annual fee on that?
$95.
Okay.
Yeah. By default, it gives you points. You get 2 points per dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can cash them out 1 cent a piece. So you get 2% cash back.
Right.
Or you can, if you have a card like Citi Premier, Citi Strata Premier, you could transfer those points into miles. And pretty soon, American is going to join that Thank You Points program. So you can transfer them to American, which are pretty valuable miles, and they're hard to get.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge benefit.
It's going to be a game changer. Yeah.
Right.
They actually allowed that for a little period of time during COVID, and then they cut it off, and we haven't seen it in several years. So it should be a real boon for miles.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, it'll really make those Citi points more valuable and give more value to the Citi Double Cash card and the Strata Premier card. And then if you have the Citi Rewards Plus card, you have a little trifecta going there.
Okay.
So
Well,
Citi,
can you just explain trifecta? Because I don't think most of our listeners are familiar with that term.
It's a term that I coined like 15 years ago to have multiple credit cards from the same bank that will optimize your spending. So by having like 2 or 3 or 4 cards from the same bank that each have their own tools, they each have their own benefits that will get you farther than where you are if you just have one card or just 2 cards. So for example, if you have the Citi Double Cash card, that'll get you 2 points per dollar everywhere.
Right.
And you add in the Citi Strata Premier card, which gets you 3 points per dollar on travel and dining and entertainment, on gas. And it lets you transfer all your Citi points over to miles. And then if you also add in the Rewards Plus card, which is no annual fee, similar to the Double Cash, has no annual fee.
Okay.
So those cards can't transfer points to miles directly. You need the Premier card to allow you to transfer those points into miles. But by having the Plus card, you get 10% of your points rebated back to you. So if you would transfer over...
And let me just ask you. So you're earning 2 points per dollar on the Citi Double Cash.
Yeah.
You're able to transfer them to miles because you have the Citi Premier.
Correct.
And now by having the Rewards Plus, when you do transfer those miles, you get a 10% bonus or a 10% rebate?
Rebate. So in other words, if American becomes partners with them, I assume in the next year, let's say, then if you transfer over 100,000 miles over to American and you have a Rewards Plus card, you would get 10,000 points put back into your Citi account.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So effectively, it'll cost you 90,000 miles for that transfer. And plus those points, of course, you earned at a rate of 2 points per dollar everywhere with Double Cash, or 3 points per dollar with the Premier card.
And that's 3 points per dollar, like category specific? How does that work on the Premier card?
So the Premier card earns 3 points per dollar. Well, it earns 10 points per dollar actually on hotels and car rentals directly through Citi Travel if you book it through the Citi portal.
Okay.
But if you book airfare anywhere, you'll get 3 points per dollar. If you book anything through a travel agency, you get 3 points per dollar. Cool. Yeah, 3 points per dollar in any hotels booked anywhere. Also on...
it's especially cool when we open up that DansDeals travel agency we talked about.
Yeah, that's true. We have to make sure we're coded as a travel agency so that the bonus points post correctly.
That's our lead.
So you also earn 3 points per dollar on gas or EV charging even. You earn 3 points per dollar on dining. And also you'll earn 3 points per dollar on grocery shopping.
Oh, that's very cool. So what's the math on that? 3 points per dollar, transfer it to points, get 10% back. How much were you now earning on that dollar?
Right. So if you earn 3 points per dollar, and if you value your American miles at $0.015 each, so that's like 4.5% back on that transaction. And then you'll get 10% rebated also on that. So that'll be close to like 5% back on that transaction.
Wow.
Now, that's if you use your miles for $0.015 each, which is really easy. If you use your American miles at a value of 10 cents per mile, that goes up exponentially. And that's feasible. It is feasible to do. If you book a business class ticket on Qatar Airways for 70,000 miles to the Maldives or to South Africa, there's tons of amazing uses. So, yeah.
And last minute flights, obviously, could also be that high. So with the Citi Double Cash, let's just make it super basic every single day, what you're actually earning with that Rewards Plus trifecta.
So you're ignoring the Premier categories. Just
right, exactly. This is every single day purchase.
Because the real key is to make sure you're using those bonus categories. So if you're buying gas or you're buying groceries or you're dining, you're going to a restaurant, you're buying airfare or hotels or travelers, you want to make sure you use that Premier card.
I feel like, let's just zoom out for a second. There are people that are going to use their credit cards in the best way possible for every single purchase. They're going to know which one I need for electronics, which one I need for high-end electronics, which one I need for groceries, right?
Yeah.
And that's you. But I do think that the vast majority of people are not doing that. And they want to know.
I'll put a little sticky note on my wife's credit card and I'll say, hey, this one you don't use for gas. This one you use for groceries. Like, all right.
That's great.
You can even write it on the signature line. Nobody checks a signature anymore. So you could write in a pen on that signature line, gas, groceries, dining.
Right. So again, that's great if you're married to Dan, right?
Anybody could do that.
And I agree.
And usually you have one person in the relationship who is focused on this kind of thing so they can take care of that for their spouse.
Okay. I agree. That's optimal. And I agree it's within reach of anybody to do it with just minimal
But
effort.
not everyone's going to do it.
But not everyone's going to do it. So what I like to tell people is focus on what your everyday purchases that you know this is a good thing that you're getting out of using your credit card. You are getting a good benefit no matter where you go, no matter what you buy, you're getting a good benefit.
Sure.
So the Citi Double Cash, let's just focus on this right now. The Citi Double Cash, you're earning 2 points per dollar. Let's say in your example, you spent $50,000, ignoring the sign-up bonus. You now have 100,000 Citi points.
Thank you points.
Thank you points. Thank you. Thanks to your Premier, you're transferring those to a partner airline
or hotel.
And thanks to your Rewards Plus card, you're getting 10% back on that.
Up to 10,000 miles per year, but yes.
Up to 10,000 miles per year.
Rebated.
Okay, great. So this is perfect. So you made that. You spent the 50,000. You made your 100,000 point transfer for the year, and now your 2 points everywhere is worth how much after that rebate?
I mean, I guess effectively 2.22, right? Because if you transfer that over and you get a 10% rebate, you'll have 0.2 back. And then if you transfer those 0.2 over, you get 0.2 back. So I would say 2.22.
Right. Okay. That's amazing because like going back to that Bank of America example where you said it's 2.62.
Yeah.
Right. So now you're 2.2 to 2.62.
Yeah.
But you have the option to transfer to miles.
Correct.
So, I mean, that's just.
Right. If you need the cash back for something, you have an emergency repair and you need cash out.
Or you're doing an incredible amount of spend.
Yeah.
People that are spending millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have enough travel to fulfill that. Yeah.
That's a sweet setup.
Yeah.
That's a really sweet setup.
Because you really could get exponentially more as miles, but you don't have to. You could always cash it out. You also don't need to have $100,000 sitting with Bank of America.
Yeah,
so
which makes it accessible to 99% of the rest of the world.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah. Wow. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.
Yeah, it's been fun. As we have this conversation, we realize how much more we have to talk about, how much more time we need. So
yeah, absolutely. We got to get into other mileage programs.
Sure.
We got to get into other trips that we've been on.
Yep.
We didn't even get into any of like the deals from the past month. There are things going on right now. So I'm really excited to talk again.
Yeah, let's do it.